The entertainment world was left stunned when rising star Shen Yue suddenly paused her acting career at the peak of her fame. At the center of the mystery, a role that could have redefined her career and the one person who might have influenced her shocking decision, Dylan Wang. Fans across the globe have speculated wildly. Rumors of health issues, secret projects, or even burnout swirled. But as the truth starts to surface, the story takes a jaw-dropping twist that links Shen Yue's biggest career choice to the man who helped catapult her to fame. It wasn't just a pause, it was a stand. And the story behind it is more shocking, more emotional, and more tangled in love and loyalty than anyone could have imagined. The offer came quietly but powerfully. A top-tier production studio in South Korea, the same one behind major K-drama hits, reached out to Shen Yue with a leading role opposite two of Korea's A-list actors. It was an international breakthrough opportunity, a drama with guaranteed global buzz, an emotionally rich script, and a director known for catapulting female leads into superstardom. But Shen Yue didn't even hesitate. She said no. And that no would send waves through the industry. Her manager, Lee Jun, was speechless. She didn't even ask who the male leads were. She didn't want to know the pay. She simply said, "I can't do it. Not now." And when I pressed, she just smiled and walked away. At first, Lee Jun thought it was fatigue. Shen Yue had just wrapped up 2 consecutive dramas, several magazine shoots, and endorsement deals. But when she tried to book her for future appearances, Shen Yue declined again. It was more than exhaustion. She was retreating. Then, the rumors started to swirl. Dylan Wang. The same Dylan Wang who shot to global fame alongside Shen Yue in Meteor Garden. The same Dylan who, behind the cameras, had built a deep, complex, and unconfirmed relationship with her that fans dubbed Wang Yu. An anonymous staff member from the Korean studio spilled the first piece of the puzzle. Shen Yue was perfect for the role. But when we told her Dylan Wang was also being considered as the male lead's best friend, she pulled out. That was the moment everything shifted. Why would Shen Yue walk away from a project simply because Dylan might be involved? Insiders close to both stars reveal a history far deeper than what the public ever knew. After Meteor Garden, they maintained a tight bond. On-screen chemistry evolved into long late-night phone calls, secret meetups in hidden cafes, and even an alleged getaway to Jeju Island in late 2023, under aliases. But their closeness came at a cost. According to a leaked conversation between 2 talent agents, a serious falling out happened in mid-2024 during the shooting of a variety show. Shen Yue reportedly found out Dylan had signed onto a romantic drama where he was paired with a rising actress, an actress he had once confessed to Shen Yue he had zero chemistry with. The betrayal wasn't the project, it was the fact that Dylan had never told her. Not once. And when she confronted him, he brushed it off as just work. That night, Shen Yue left the set in tears. Dylan reportedly tried to chase after her, but security stopped him at the gate. That drama marked the beginning of their distance. By the time the Korean offer came, their relationship was a shell of what it used to be. The silence between them was so loud that even close friends noticed. Shen Yue's best friend, stylist Xiao Lin, said in a now-deleted Weibo post, "Sometimes the biggest heartbreak is having to pretend nothing happened." She was not okay. So, when she learned Dylan might be involved in the Korean drama, even in a minor role, Shen Yue backed out. Not because she hated him, but because being around him again would reopen wounds she had fought hard to heal. She chose peace, Lee Jun later told a confidant. Peace over fame. Over fortune. Over everything. But the story doesn't end there. In a twist no one saw coming, Dylan Wang found out about Shen Yue's rejection weeks later. According to leaked messages from his assistant's phone, Dylan was furious. Not at her, but at himself. He never knew she had turned down the role because of him. In an emotional voice message, allegedly sent from Dylan to Shen Yue through a mutual friend, he said, "You could have told me. I would have stepped away. I would have left the role. It should have been your moment." But Shen Yue never responded. Instead, she posted a cryptic video montage on Instagram, photos of clouds, sunsets, pages turning, and a final image, a pair of hands parting gently. The caption simply read, "Sometimes, silence is love too." Fans went into a frenzy. Did they break up? Were they ever together? Is this goodbye? Suddenly, people weren't just interested in the drama she turned down, but in the drama of her real life. Then came the press conference. To address the growing storm, Shen Yue's agency scheduled a tightly controlled press briefing. Only selected media were invited. Everyone expected a simple denial of rumors. But Shen Yue had other plans. Dressed in a minimalist white outfit, no makeup except for a trace of blush, Shen Yue stepped onto the stage with calm yet piercing grace. "I didn't pause my career because I was tired," she said. "I paused it because I needed to remember who I was before the lights, before the noise, before the heartbreak." Gasps filled the room. Cameras clicked like machine guns. "I was offered a beautiful role," she continued. "And I walked away. Not because of the project, but because some chapters are better left closed. For now." When asked directly about Dylan Wang, she paused for a long time, then replied, "Dylan is part of my story. A beautiful part. But sometimes, we must walk away from the things we love most, not because we want to, but because we must." The room fell into a stunned silence. That night, Dylan posted a single story on his account, a black screen with one line, "I didn't know I hurt you that much. I'm sorry." The mystery behind Shen Yue's career pause had finally unraveled, not into scandal, but into a painfully raw tale of love, regret, and healing. Her silence wasn't weakness, it was strength. Her refusal wasn't fear, it was courage. Since then, Shen Yue has remained low-key, spending time painting, volunteering in remote villages, and taking solo trips to places she once dreamed of. She hasn't signed onto any drama, not yet. But insiders hint that she's quietly working on a project she's writing herself. A deeply personal, emotionally charged series centered on a woman who walks away from fame and love to find herself again. And guess what? Rumor has it she wants Dylan to audition not for the lead, but for the role of the one who let her go. Would he accept? Or would that reopen everything they barely survived? Only time will tell. After the bombshell press conference, the industry buzzed louder than ever. Shen Yue, usually reserved and soft-spoken, had just shaken the entertainment world with her raw, emotional confession. But what the public didn't know was that the fallout behind closed doors was even more explosive. Just 48 hours after Shen Yue's quiet storm of a speech, the production studio behind the Korean drama issued an official statement confirming her withdrawal. But they added something unexpected: the role remains unassigned, and we are open to reconsideration should Miss Shen Yue wish to return. This triggered a media frenzy. Why leave the door open for someone who walked away? Because behind the scenes, she was the heartbeat of the entire project. The script, tentatively titled When the Sky Forgets the Moon, had been written for her. A role inspired by her gentle yet fierce screen persona. What's more shocking? Dylan Wang knew this. In fact, he was the one who suggested her to the producers. Yes, Dylan Wang wanted Shen Yue on the project months before the offer even reached her. Back in late 2024, Dylan had been approached first. The role of a charming, emotionally scarred second lead was a perfect fit for him. But during a creative meeting, when the director asked, who could carry the female lead with both fragility and strength, Dylan's answer was instant: Shen Yue. He even showed the mold behind-the-scenes clips from Meteor Garden, where Shen Yue's laughter echoed through the set, and scenes where her eyes held 1,000 emotions. She doesn't act, Dylan had said. She feels. That's rare. The producers agreed. They reached out to her manager quietly, not knowing what history lay buried between the two stars. But Shen Yue didn't know any of this. All she saw was a new project, starring Dylan. The same Dylan who had once promised, no matter how big we get, we'll never become strangers. And yet, that was exactly what they had become. What Dylan didn't anticipate was the depth of her hurt. Nor did he expect her silence to be louder than any rejection he'd ever received. Unable to stay silent anymore, Dylan made a drastic move. 3 days after her press conference, Dylan appeared unannounced at Shen Yue's agency building. Security tried to block him, but he calmly handed over a sealed envelope and said only 4 words, "Give this to her." The letter inside wasn't typed. It was handwritten. 7 pages of raw emotion. No agents. No filters. Just Dylan unmasked. I never told you how much you meant to me because I didn't know how, one page read. And when I finally tried, I was too late. He spoke about their late-night rehearsals, their inside jokes, the night they both snuck out of a hotel during Meteor Garden promotions just to watch the stars from a rooftop. That night, he wrote, I wished time would stop. He ended the letter with one plea: if there's a chance, even just one, to talk again, I'll wait. Even if it's just to hear you say goodbye. Shen Yue read it in silence. Then she cried. Not soft tears, but gut-wrenching sobs that her assistant Xiao Lin later described as years of silence breaking open. But instead of calling him, she disappeared. Not from the public, but from the people closest to her. She left for Lugu Lake, a hidden destination in Yunnan province known for its mystical waters and ancient matriarchal communities. Her phone was off. No one knew her exact location. Even her manager was left with a cryptic voice message. I need to remember who I was before all this. Before him. Meanwhile, Dylan waited. Day after day. His team begged him to focus on work, but he refused. He turned down events, paused endorsements, even postponed filming for a fashion campaign in Milan. Friends said he looked thinner, more distracted. He was haunted, said his manager. He would just sit, stare at his phone, and read her last Weibo post over and over again. Then came the twist. A local photographer in Yunnan posted a set of photos titled Girl by the Lake. The subject: a woman sitting alone by the water, sketching in a leather-bound book. Her face was turned away, but fans recognized the posture, the hairstyle, the silhouette. It was Shen Yue. The post went viral in minutes. Fans flooded the comments with support. Take your time, we'll wait. Healing is not weakness, it's power. She deserves peace. Even if it means walking away from love. But what the public didn't see was the photo that wasn't uploaded. The final image in the photographer's roll showed Shen Yue wiping a tear, looking down at a small envelope tucked into the pages of her sketchbook. It was the same envelope Dylan had delivered. And the biggest surprise. On the back of that envelope was a flight ticket to Seoul. The date. Just 2 weeks away. Rumor has it that Dylan purchased the ticket for her in advance, without knowing whether she'd ever use it. A silent invitation not just to the project, but to closure. Will she show up? Will she return to the project that was written with her in mind? Or will she close the chapter once and for all? Back in Seoul, the production team is on standby. The set is ready. The role is still hers. And Dylan? He's waiting at the hotel lobby every evening at sunset, just in case she walks in. Because sometimes, love isn't about big declarations. It's about waiting when no one else will. It's about believing that the person who walked away might still be finding their way back. Shen Yue may have paused her career, but her story is still writing itself. And the next scene might just be the one that changes everything. Subscribe for more exclusive updates, dramatic celebrity tales, and the stories behind the stars you love.